GS-6 end mill sharpener operating instructions. GS-6 safety instructions. 1. Please carefully operate the machine by following the video and operation manual to prevent the damage caused by wrong operation of the machine. 2. Please examine the voltage before the operation to prevent the damage caused by the wrong supply power. 3. Execute the complete cleaning steps, especially the grinding shelves, after use to maintain the lifespan of the machine. Otherwise, the scraps may damage the components and affect the accuracy of the grinding result. 4. To prevent the cause of accidental damages, make sure the power of the machine is disconnected before the cleaning process and changing of the grinding wheels. GS-6 instructions. Machine devices. Shelf 1. Secondary relief grinding shelf. Shelf 2. 3 and 4 flute and gash grinding shelf. Shelf 3. Cutting face grinding shelf. Shelf 4. 2 flute and gash grinding shelf. Angle adjustment. Adjustment shelf. Adjustment button. Disassembling shelf. Power switch. Adjustable pin. Collets. 2 flute tool set. 2 flute 3 bushing, 2 flute chuck set. 3 flute tool set. 3 flute 3 degree bushing, 3 flute and gash bushing, 3 flute chuck set. 4 flute tool set. 4 flute 7 degree bushing, 4 flute 12 degree bushing, 4 flute and gash bushing, 4 flute chuck set. There are 9 operational steps of GS-6. Step 1. Choosing the grinding wheel. 1. Determine the material of the end mill before operating. HSS material used CBN grinding wheel. Carbide material used SD grinding wheel. 2. The grinding wheel in shelf 3 and shelf 4 apply to all diameter of end mill from 3 to 12 mm. 3. There are 3 different specifications of grinding wheels for shelf 1 and shelf 2. Please use grinding wheel A for cutting diameter 3 to 5 mm. Please use grinding wheel B for cutting diameter 5.1 to 8 mm. Please use grinding wheel C for cutting diameter 8.1 to 12 mm. Step 2. Choosing the collet. 1. Turn the adjustment scale to the bottom by clockwise and back to 0. 2. Determine the diameter of shank to choose the appropriate collet. Insert the collet into the collet chuck with 45 degree. Then screw it with the clamping nut. Do not fully tighten. Long length end mills must use optimal collets. 3. Insert the end mill into the chuck set until the edge of the end mill protrude around 5 mm out of the nut, and keep the end mill still able to be adjusted. Turn the longer cutting face of the end mill to be parallel with the slot number 1 of the clamping nut. Step 3. The application of adjustment shelf. 1. Set the scale of the adjustment shelf according to the cutting diameter of the end mill. The first round of the adjustment scale is from 3 to 9 mm. Second round is from 10 to 13 mm. Insert the chuck set into the adjustment shelf. Match the slot number 1 with the positioning pin and insert to the end. Then turn the chuck set by clockwise until connected fitly with the positioning pin. 3. Then push the end mill to the end and turn it by clockwise until stopped by the positioning block. Be aware when positioning 3 and 4 flute end mills. Please make sure to use longer cutting face to position. 4. Tighten the chuck set by turn it clockwise. 5. Take the chuck set out by turn it counterclockwise. Be sure the slot number 1 of the clamping nut is parallel with the longer cutting face of the end mill. If not, please readjust. 6. Verify flute number of the end mill before continuing with the following steps. Step 4. 2-flute end mill grinding. 1. 2-flute end mill. Preparation of grinding. A. Grinding procedure start from shelf 1 to shelf 3 and the last shelf 4. B. Adjust the angle to 3 degrees on shelf 3. C. Align the green mark of 2-flute bushing with the green mark on the shelf 3. Then insert it gently to the shelf. Trigger up the movable pin of the shelf 1. 2. 2-flute end mill secondary relief grinding. Turn on the power switch and wait around 10 seconds. Align slot number 1 with the 2 positioning pins on the shelf 1. Gently insert the chuck set into the end and turn right to the end and turn back. Take out the chuck set, turn to slot number 1 and grind with the same procedure. 3. 2-flute end mill cutting face grinding. Insert the chuck set into shelf 3. Align slot number 1 with the bushing where marked as number 1. Gently insert into the end until fully grinded. Take out the chuck set, then take out the bushing and turn the bushing to the other side. Align the other gap of the bushing with the positioning pin and insert it to the end. Then align the slot number 2 of the clamping nut with the mark number 2 of the bushing. Gently push to the end until fully grinded. 4. 2-flute end mill end gash grinding. Insert the chuck set into shelf 4. Align slot number 1 with the 2 positioning pins on the shelf 4. Gently push to the end until fully grinded. Take out the chuck set and turn to slot number 2 and grind with the same procedure. Step 5. 3-flute end mill grinding. 3-flute of end mill. Preparation of grinding. A. Grinding procedure start from shelf 1 to shelf 2 and the last shelf 3. B. Adjust the angle to 3 degrees on shelf 3. C. Align the pink mark of 3-flute bushing with the pink mark of the shelf 2. Then insert it gently to the shelf. D. Align the green mark of 3-flute bushing with the green mark on the shelf 3. Then insert it gently to the shelf. E. Trigger up the movable pin on the shelf 1. 2. 3-flute end mill secondary relief grinding. Turn on the motor and wait around 10 seconds. Align slot number 1 with the 2 positioning pins on the shelf 1. Gently insert the chuck set into the end of the shelf 1. Turn right to the end and turn back to the left. Take out the chuck set. Grinding slot number 2 and number 3 with the same procedure. 3. 3-flute end mill end gash grinding. Align slot number 1 with the pink mark on the shelf 2. Insert to the end gently until fully grinded. Take out the chuck set and turn to slot number 2. Grind by the same way. Take out the chuck set again and turn the bushing 180 degrees. Align mark 3 of the bushing with the pink mark on the shelf and insert the bushing gently. Align slot number 3 with the pink mark on the shelf 2. Insert it gently and push to the end until fully grinded. 4. 3-flute end mill cutting face grinding. Insert the chuck set into shelf 3. Align slot number 1 with the mark 1 on the bushing. Gently insert it to the end until fully grinded. Take out the chuck set, then turn the bushing 180 degrees to the other side. Align another gap of the bushing with the positioning pin and insert it to the end. Then align the slot number 2 of the clamping nut with the mark 2.3 of the bushing. Gently push to the end until fully grinded. Take out the chuck set. Turn to slot number 3 and grind with the same procedure. Step 6. 4-flute end mill grinding. 1. 4-flute end mill. Preparation for sharpening. A. Grinding procedure start from shelf 1 to shelf 2 and the last shelf 3. B. Adjust the angle to 12 degrees on shelf 3 if the cutting diameter of the end mill is within 3 to 8 mm. Adjust the angle to 7 degrees on shelf 3 if the cutting diameter of the end mill is within 8.1 to 12 mm. C. Choose 7 or 12 degree bushing according to the cutting diameter of the end mill. Align the green mark of 4th loop bushing with the green mark of the shelf 3. Then insert it gently to the shelf. D. Align the pink mark of 4th loop bushing with the pink mark on the shelf 2. Then insert it gently to the shelf. E. Trigger down the movable pin on shelf 1. 2. 4th loop end mill secondary relief grinding. Turn on the motor and wait around 10 seconds. Align slot number 1 of the clamping nut with the 2 positioning pins on the shelf 1. Gently insert the chuck set into the end of shelf 1 until fully grinded. Take out the chuck set, turn left to slot number 2, slot number 3, then slot number 4 and grind them with the same procedure. 3. 4th loop end mill end gash grinding. Align slot number 1 of the clamping nut with the pink mark on the shelf 2. Insert gently and push to the end until fully grinded. Take out the chuck set and turn to slot number 3. Grind with the same way. Take out the chuck set again and turn the bushing 180 degrees. Align mark 2.4 of the bushing with the pink mark on the shelf and insert the bushing gently. Align slot number 2 of the clamping nut with the pink mark on the shelf 2. Insert gently and push to the end until fully grinded. Take out the chuck set and turn to slot number 4. Grind with the same way. 4. 4th loop end mill cutting face grinding. Insert the chuck set into shelf 3. Align slot number 1 with the mark number 1 on the bushing. Gently insert to the end until fully grinded. Take out the chuck set. Then take out the bushing and turn 180 degrees to the other side. Align the other gap of the bushing with the positioning pin and insert it to the end. Then align one by one the slot number 2, 3, 4 of the clamping nut with the mark 2, 3, 4 of the bushing. Gently push each of them to the end until fully grinded with the same procedure. Step 7. The application of chuck disassembling shell. After finished the grinding job, insert the chuck set into chuck disassembling shelf and turn it by counterclockwise to the end to lose the chuck set, then take the end mill out. Step 8. Machine, maintenance and clearance. 1. Unplug the power line. 2. Open the grinding wheel protection cover on both sides. 3. Using compressor air to clean the scraps on the following items: cutting face bushing, end gash bushing, collet holder, nuts. 4. Clean the scraps away from the machine and tighten the grinding wheel protection cover by fixing screw. 5. Using the wiper to clean the accessories and install them back to the original position. 6. The order of cleaning steps is: chuck disassembling shelf, web scale adjustment shelf, end gash grinding shelf 2, 4, cutting face grinding shelf 3, secondary relief grinding shelf 1. Step 9. The change of the grinding wheels. 1. Unplug the power line before the changing procedure of the grinding wheel starts. 2. Loose the screws and open the grinding wheel protection cover. Loose the fastened screws of the grinding wheel, then take off the blade fan and the grinding wheel. 3. Use the wiper to clean the motor spindle and the central aperture of grinding wheel and the blade fan, then put it back to the machine and tighten the screw. 4. Close the cover and tighten the screw.